Alrighty. Hi, my name is Jonathan Rogers from University Pulse Radio, and I'm here with the team at New Student Programs here at Boise State. I think we'll start by saying some names. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good. My name is Anuj Chopra, one of the New Student Programs coordinators in admissions and New Student Programs.
My name is Colby Brown. I'm one of the Bronco Family Ambassadors at New Student Programs.
I'm Savannah Jackson, and I'm an orientation coordinator.
Amazing. Alrighty, what do you each individually bring to the table for NSP? Like, what is your role, and how does that kind of manifest in the program?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll start. I am the only professional staff, at least of the three of us. So I get all the fun benefits of being a professional employee and helping serve students throughout orientation, as well as prepping some of the training materials and schedules that our orientation leaders, which both of our students here have been in the past. So essentially, I help prep them for the summer, and then they do all the rest of the work.
I mainly just help on the parent and family side of everything.
Sweet.
And then I'm mostly just helping orientation leaders get prepared for the summer so they know what their job is and how they can do it best.
Amazing. What does the kind of operational structure of New Student Programs look like, and what roles do you hire upon yearly?
I'll take a crack at that one. So we're currently in a search for a new director, but the director is kind of our captain of our ship. We have three senior coordinators, Olivia Payne, Tanika Begay, and Emshi Frank. So Emshi is Parent and Family Weekend, or Parent and Family Coordinator, and Tanika is our Communications Coordinator, and Olivia is our orientation kind of leader. I work directly for Olivia. She's my direct supervisor. And then I guess, Colby, who do you work for?
I work directly under MC.
Amazing.
So just everything with parent family side. I work anything she tells me to do, I do it. So, yeah.
That works.
Savannah.
Oh, yeah, I guess under Olivia and Anuj and kind of doing all that stuff.
Yeah, so we have, I would say the bulk of our student staff that we hire is the orientation leaders, orientation coordinators, and then we have two Bronco Family Ambassadors, and they fit underneath me and Olivia, and then Emshi has the Bronco Family Ambassadors.
Amazing. You guys talked a little bit about orientation. That's a huge part of what you guys do, the hugest.
Right.
Could you give just a little explanation of what the average day of orientation looks like from a student's perspective?
Ooh. Do you guys want to give them last year's?
Yeah, so last year we had the 2-day program. So on the first day, you're kind of coming in, getting checked in, and it starts with a presentation and just a welcome, and you get to meet all of your orientation leaders, and then you kind of get separated, and then in the first time that you're meeting your orientation leader, they're just giving you some basic information about Boise State and kind of what your day is going to look like, and getting to know everyone in your group. And then from that point, we did advising, so getting to meet with your advisors and kind of getting a roadmap for the next day when you would get to register for classes. And then from then, you go to lunch. Sorry, I don't know how detailed you want me to
go into it, dude. I'm here for it.
I think after that, they went to lunch, and then from there we do a bunch of other small groups that you kind of got to choose from. So we had Life in Boise, where you talked about living in Boise and going to Boise State, the recreation center and what all of that entails, and then fraternity and sorority life. So kind of just different groups, and they could pick what interests them most.
Yeah.
And then after that, we did another small group with your orientation leader, and that one was more about safety stuff and well-being at Boise State. And then from there, they got the opportunity to meet with a bunch of programs at Boise State and get to know them and how to get involved. So campus rec, sports, clubs, parking, everything like that at Boise State. And then there was dinner, and they could get checked in. Sorry, I'm trying to remember everything. And then after that was evening games, which I don't know, just a bunch of games and fun stuff
Yeah.
to do. And that was kind of the first day. And then the second day, the main chunk of it was just advising. So we kind of started off with them in like a group setting, and then they break up and go to like their college and get registered for classes.
Sweet.
Okay.
Kind of on that topic, like what do you guys seek to check off a new student's list throughout the orientation process? Like as far as like getting advising done, like what other things do you want kind of like taken off the student's plate, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, advising and registration is probably the biggest chunk of stuff that we do for students during orientation. So that's like one big part of the checklist. Let's see, there's kind of some like safety and well-being things that we want students to get, like some knowledge about signing up for like Rave Guardian, those sorts of resources that public safety kind of already has in place for students to use.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of like resource outreach, resource management, having students understand like what things are available to them, as well as like campus groups, getting them aware of like ways that they can get involved with clubs, other departments on campus, campus resources, stuff like that. I always say orientation's general job is to like facilitate an environment where students are able to feel that sense of meaning and belonging, as well as like checking off some of those like advising and registration, some of those things that they need to do before they can start classes.
For sure. And you touched on this a little bit, but so many colleges have recently switched to online forms of orientation for their students. Why do you think it's so important for Boise State specifically to have an in-person form?
Yeah. Do either of you? I mean,
Just say like it really helps build community and helps to get you comfortable in like your new environment and your new space, because coming to college is a really big transition, and I think orientation can kind of ease a little bit of anxiety that a lot of students and families are having, because you get to be on campus and kind of explore, and you get to meet a lot of people that can help make the transition way easier. And I think the best part about it is getting to actually be where you're going to be in the fall.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that's really, really good. New Jay, did you have more to add?
I think too that in-person orientation really helps students feel more of a connection of the space that they're about to be in. I mean, online orientations are really convenient and really flexible, especially if you're from out of state, if you're traveling over the summer between like your senior year of high school and freshman year of college. But our role and our job is to really get you like oriented with the space that you're about to enter.
For sure.
Because that transition to college for some can be really overwhelming.
Yeah.
So as many faces that we can get you in front of to normalize the experience is really kind of one of the main functions of like an in-person on-campus orientation.
Yeah, sweet. What advice do you have for in-state students wondering if they should or should not stay the night for orientation?
So we are moving away from a 2-day program for next
Okay.
year. Yeah, so there is not a like overnight stay component that we would have had in years prior.
Okay.
However, like that need to like stay maybe overnight before the day after a program, I think is still really important. Like getting situated with campus like in the morning and in the evening, so you can kind of get a feel for traffic, get a feel for kind of like what a 24-hour period on campus looks like.
Amazing. Well, I want to pivot a little bit on just like what it's like to be an orientation leader. I know you guys are opening up your hiring pool here in a little bit. Why do you think it's so important for OLs to be students leading their fellow students?
I think that everyone has a really unique experience that they've had at Boise State, whether that be like in their freshman year or their sophomore year. Everyone is different, and where they're coming out of high school has been different. So that gives them a really cool opportunity to connect with a lot of different students that are coming in, because you never know like who your story is going to reach specifically. So I think that is really special and important. Yeah.
For sure. What are some of the like direct benefits of being an orientation leader here?
I personally say like the group of people that you meet. Like I know that you work with one of my buddies, Daniel. I worked with him, and it was like one of the funnest experiences I've ever had. So just like the group of people you meet and then the connections you build, like it's a very good like networking process as well. So
Amazing. I know. It is like LinkedIn Olympics a little bit at times. What are some of the like discerning factors you use to choose your OLs, and how much of that is defined by kind of a dynamic you want out of the team?
I think like first and foremost, like, do you work well in a group? This job, as an orientation leader, is very like team group management oriented. So learning how to communicate with others, when there's like 6 of you that are in charge of doing one thing, or if you're experiencing like roommate drama in kind of the living quarters that are outside of like orientation itself. So learning how to kind of have those real world experiences of like working on a team, except for like you're doing orientation the whole summer and you're helping students get familiar with campus. So like your ability to work as a team is probably at least one of the most important things that we look for.
For sure. What are some of the common pitfalls of the hiring process you see so many OL candidates fall into?
That's you guys. First thing I can think of is like it wanting to do the job for the wrong reasons. So if they're articulating like, I just want to make some money, or, I want to get really popular, those sorts of things, to where it's more focused on the benefits of the role, not so much like the growth or the opportunities that the role kind of presents you with. At least that would be one for me. I don't know about the rest of them.
yeah, that was definitely like one thing that we had looked for, like for our hiring process for like y'all's team, was if you have like a very good like growth mindset, then we were like very like locked in on that person. But it just kind of depended on like the person and like how we saw them in certain interviews and everything like that.
For sure. Alrighty. Well, when can students start applying for the OL position?
So I think it's the first Monday of classes in January is when the application opens. And then I think first Monday in February is when it will close. We'll have some like orientation leader info sessions kind of in between, some tabling. So if you see us out on campus anywhere, if you see any flyers, like come hang out with us, learn some more about the role. We want every student type to come and apply, because we need all of you to help orient all the students that we get.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you guys had to pick a song to represent a day at orientation, what would it be? Be a song, artist, album, whatever you have.
That's a hard one. Yeah, can I?
I have the tough questions. I always do.
Like a song to describe orientation.
Yeah.
What's that one Skrillex song that like the man, why can't I?
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I don't know.
He is the nose.
Yes,
Okay,
that
yeah.
one.
Oh my god.
Just like chaos everywhere, screaming. People kind of running around with their heads cut off.
Yeah.
At least how I experience orientation as like a professional staff member that's kind of separated from like the orientation leader day-to-day role.
I mean, being in the orientation leader role and the orientation coordinator role, the go-to song would probably be "I'ma Be" by Black Eyed Peas. That was a pretty important one during my summer, so I think that one just like stuck with me and just kind of gives the vibe of orientation now.
Yeah.
I can't think of a song like exactly, but I would agree with Anujay. Something with like a lot of screaming and just chaos.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate the opportunity to interview y'all. Y'all have been a pleasure. Where can people find NSP out in the wild?
Ooh, so we are currently moving offices. We'll be over by the Office of Admissions.
Okay.
But you'll see some signage that says like new student programs and orientation. So we're kind of down at the end of the sub, closer to like the Pulse like radio station that's in the Student Union building.
Okay.
You'll also find us all summer in the Student Union building upstairs.
Awesome.
Like all throughout orientation. First year support is like the email that we kind of utilize to if students have any questions within their first year and first semester. So if you have any questions, need any support, first year support at boisestate.edu is definitely a good place to start.
Amazing. Well, any last minute plugs or
Please,
comments,
please
concerns?
apply to be an orientation leader.
Awesome sauce.
We love seeing big groups, and we love seeing students that want to help other students.
Amazing. Well, thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.
Thank you, John.